This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Parrish, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks Podcast.
Hey, what about our Comic Capers podcast?
What about us?
What about it? We're back.
Episode 101. Like, who cares?
I know, and it's like every other week. It seems like just yesterday we were poo-pooing on Bendis' Man of Steel.
Get ready to poo-poo on Bendis' Justice League.
I know, Shazam.
Don't. Please don't. We don't do that here. Because we're talking Marvel. I put
That's
out
right.
a Marvel shirt for you, Philip.
We're not talking Bendis. We're talking Iron Man from the 80s.
169. So,
That's right.
happy for at least one issue we're going to be discussing.
Hey-oh.
And to kick off Black History Month, we're discussing a legendary issue featuring a Mr. James Rhodes.
That's right. Iron Man 169 and 170.
Blackout! Because it was the 80s, and they weren't woke yet.
Oh. All right. This is going to be the closest one ever. Our good friend Ray just sent me a message. I think he just got done reading. So by the time we get to the end of this episode, we may have feedback. So.
Uh-oh. You know what that means, kids? It's just a Red Bull. Don't get excited. It's Thursday, not Friday.
What's the opposite of the emergency brake? Because whatever it is, Lil's just pulled it.
Pedal to the metal, baby.
Yeah. All right. So
I like this issue a lot, so that helps.
Oh, nice. What, the first one or both of them?
Both of them. I feel like the two stories are very well paced. Honestly, Tony was a mess.
Oh yeah.
We'll blame Obadiah Stane, but Tony was a mess before that.
Oh yeah. I mean, we had Demon in the bottle before Obadiah Stane. So
yeah,
I mean,
he put him back in the bottle though. So
Oh yeah. I mean, he exploited his two biggest
his ego and his addiction.
Well, he had two addictions: alcohol and women.
His ego.
Yeah.
Getting it
Well.
stroked, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey-oh. Stroking his ego.
I bet you that's what he named his penis. I bet you.
That's an awfully big rod he's got there.
Nice. So let's just get into it. We got some synopses, and we're going to talk about those last couple of pages because I feel like it's important.
All right. So, yes, Iron Man 169, Lil's favorite number, from April 1983.
Written by Denny O'Neil, of course. Legendary. Always doing the cool arcs. Always. Like this.
That's right.
Mention Marvel or DC without Denny O'Neil. It just wouldn't be the same.
That's right. The Denny O'Neil. Yes.
Damn straight.
Penciler Luke.
Pulling up the rear with pencils are Luke McDonald, inker Steve Mitchell, colorist Bob Sheeran, and then the letterer is Rick Parker. Okay, so dig this. This issue costs 60 cents, right?
Yep.
And in near mint condition, it's only worth $16. And I've seen, say about 8.7 on eBay going for like $9. So I'm saying, go on eBay. Get you some, because as soon as this Disney Plus show comes out, they're going to skyrocket. So I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Still very, very affordable to grab yourself some. In pretty good condition, actually. So, nice pro tip.
And I'm thinking, do it soon, because I believe they...
I just grabbed a couple. That's why I'm just mentioning it.
Well, besides his own show, I believe they've confirmed War Machine is showing up in Falcon and Winter Soldier also, so...
No one cares about that. Everybody's pretending like they care, but nobody cares about it. WandaVision is the thing. Hashtag deal with it.
Well, because it's a giant mystery. I mean, with all the other shows, you kind of know what you're going to get, but WandaVision, it's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, did you see all those Funko Pops that just came out for the WandaVision stuff? So,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like Phase 4 is all about Elizabeth Olsen and WandaVision, as it should be, because they nerfed her in the movies, which pissed me off. I'm like, you know how I feel. Hawkeye, Hope, Scarlet Witch, done dirty. Oh, and Black Widow as well. Too little, too late.
I know.
But let's get into this.
All right, so yes, issue 169, Blackout, as Lilith can attest.
I can't handle it anymore. You be Iron Man.
I know. Tony Stark just like on the floor, pointing at someone off panel. All right, so
be this. I'm the captain of bad life decisions.
All right, so Iron Man 169 starts just like Lilith Hellfire's memoirs will start. Incredible.
Crashing through billboards, letting the little people be rained on with debris.
The first two words, incredibly drunk, Iron Man flies through Times Square, smashing every liquor billboard he sees. His rampage witnessed by Daredevil. Oh, look.
What's this, some kind of crossover?
The devil, you know, that's right. Daredevil will be back next week. All right. Witnessed by Daredevil and caught on camera.
No, the other guy in the red and yellow suit.
That's right. Caught on camera by Channel 3 News. Afterward, he returns to his penthouse and drinks more.
As you do. I mean, you're already down in the bottle. You might as well finish it.
This is Lil's vacation. Drink, go to the penthouse, drink more.
Oh, gratuitous ad placement for the Macy's shopping bag, by the way.
Oh.
Take a drink, future Lilith. That's my new thing.
What, bags?
No, gratuitous product placement, because there is a lot in Marvel.
Oh, yeah. Back in the day, yeah. Meanwhile, Magma's men prepare Magma's vehicle.
Magma.
Listen to this sentence. Meanwhile, Magma's men prepare Magma's vehicle as Magma prepares for his rematch against Iron Man. Secret
word of the day, kids. Magma. Molten hot magma.
Magma. For his rematch against Iron Man. Stark wakes up to news footage of Iron Man smashing through Times Square and mayoral assistant Milo Finch demanding restitution for damages. He stumbles...
let's not forget Marvel Team Up number 110, because they went out of their way to make an editor's note. So kids, pick it up.
Yes, and I believe we're going to get to that later in the year, maybe September.
I think this is the best little blurb ever, though. A raging thirst and a thumping headache seem somehow part of the same agony as Tony Stark is awakened by the tiny chatter of the TV. And I'm like, that is the most relatable Tony Stark thing I've ever seen in my life.
He stumbles into some clothes and goes to work. Meanwhile, Rhodey returns to Stark International, where Martinelli tells him Stark is drinking again. Stark speaks to his lawyers about the Iron Man footage, but they are more concerned that the company is deep in debt and that someone is offering to buy out the creditors. Stain.
All I'm saying is, outside of Dark Knight Returns, the movie, Batman's never had Wayne Tech taken from him. I'm just saying.
I know, and it's like, Stark is happily reunited with a concerned Rhodey before Martinelli informs them that Magma has emerged from the harbor and is making his way to Stark International. Stark suits up and fights Magma, but proves too drunk to beat him.
Wait. Cut to Obadiah Stane, and I'm just like, looks like we're in the end game now, boys. Because he's so
how about you?
Playing chess.
Playing with his rook,
As you do.
That's an awfully big rod he's got there.
No, he's definitely overcompensating. You've seen his armor. He's overcompensating.
Who, Stain?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. All right, so retreating back to Stark International, thinking that repowering the suit will help, Stark forgets that he's wearing an older armor and accidentally causes a power blackout.
Drunken idiot!
I know. He takes Rhodey to his private lab for a drink and reveals his identity. Shortly before a Magma...
That was a big deal, because remember, we're still in secret identity territory, because this isn't modern comics. And everybody doesn't need to know your damn secret.
Exactly.
And the best Rhodey line ever. This doesn't surprise me. He's like, that tracks. You're your own bodyguard. That tracks.
Exactly. Like you trust anyone. And as Martinelli and his men offer vain resistance and Tony passes out, Rhodey strips him out of the Iron Man armor and dons it himself.
That is like some real good work on these last few panels where he's
on
the suit.
Definitely.
Like, as soon as I drop this helmet on, I'll actually be Iron Man. I'm just like, I wonder how fans felt about this.
I mean, that's the thing.
A little bit before my time, so I wouldn't know. Like, I think it was a cool idea, but everybody was kind of like getting into that game of switching at the time.
Yeah, but I think this, I mean,
I think this is more significant just because it's a black guy.
And isn't this around the same? I mean, I think it might have been right before, but this was around the time Jon Stewart first became like the full-time.
Exactly. Yeah, we talked about that last February.
That's right.
And you threatened me with this, and I didn't believe you. You remembered. You followed through. I'm proud of you, Phil.
Hey, sometimes my pettiness pays off, okay?
So yeah, no, I absolutely love these last few panels building up to it. It's like, I guess this is my life now. Damn it, Tony! Like, you can just hear him in his head. Damn it, Tony!
I know, and it's like this is like, I mean, it's hard. This is even more difficult because there's no AI in that suit at this point.
Of course, he's flying the old one. The black guy gets the hand-me-downs. Of course.
Well, I think the drunk trashed the old one, so it's like
exactly. Old beat up hand-me-down. We'll figure it out. Don't need no stinking AI telling me what to do. I just love the look of apprehension, and it's just definitely a last resort. It wasn't like, let me just try to do this for the sake of doing it. It's not like Iron Man was like, here you go, like in some other instances of heroes passing their mantle down, things like that. So it's definitely a different vibe than what was going on.
Oh yeah, nobody handed it to him. It's just like, oh hey, people are gonna die. It's and this drunk's not doing anything, so it's down to me.
Exactly, and I love issue 170's cover. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, 170. Yeah, just like him, kind of in shadow and stuff.
Oh yeah, and then like the whole gallery of the other Iron Man suits in the back.
Oh yeah.
And I like the title of the issue, and who shall clothe himself in iron. It's kind of like that whole thing with Luke Cage too, because it's called Invincible Iron Man. So I don't know, it's like Luke Cage, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
black guy, like it's a thing, man, and I kind of dig it.
Well, I mean, it was kind of. I mean, at this point, it's like a lot of the Marvel books had some kind of in front of the title.
As you do, it's Marvel, of course. First of all, Peter Parker, the spectacular. Okay, that's too big of a mouthful. Let's truncate it. Get rid of the other guy so we don't have to specify. No offense, Phil.
Hey, Ray wants to know if you can get any louder.
I can.
He said you're not.
Go grab some wine.
Oh no, he said amp your vocals.
Get yourself some tweaked audio headphones, Ray.
Yeah, Ray.
Charlie told me to turn the game down. Ray told me to turn it up. What is the truth?
These men. You don't tell Lil Hellfire what to do.
Anywho, so issue 170, absolutely epic. I love all the art in this. It's so dang good. All the shadows.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They also do a lot of simple backgrounds and a lot of the stuff as well to punctuate. And I just want to punch Obadiah Stane's face, man. Just
oh yeah,
punchable face.
Oh yeah, he's horrible.
And then we got Nick Cage in the lab coat and the bow tie. It looks like Nick Cage on a good day before he lost his hair. Just
who's stealing the Declaration of Independence? What? Seriously.
And summon the knight. Let's not forget that. He was playing chess. Get it?
Sorry, sorry, I'm just distracted. I'm adding Ray's feedback on the fly here. So
look at our boy Gilman go. It's nothing he can't do.
And I mean, hey, look at Ray, man. He's just in mid podcast. It's a team effort, kids.
Damn time zones.
That was just a really nice package.
It's like Saturday there already.
Thursday night. She's like, it's already Saturday there. Hey, Ray, did you hear the new drop?
That's an awfully big rod he's got there.
Out of the gooch.
Slip it in.
Nobody tell Rob.
Whoa, Ray. Nobody tell Ray's woman. Jeez. No.
Pull yourself up and slip into it.
Which goes with
Oh, what a waste of butter.
All right.
Unless you're Ben Shapiro's wife, then you just suffer and
Hey-oh!
If you get the joke, you get it.
Right.
But Tony spends most of the episode in his underwear, showing off his six-pack. So, of course, that's something a young little Hellfire could get behind. Hey-oh.
Hey-oh! Behind or in front of?
Either or. It's fine.
Hey-oh. All right. Ready for the synopsis?
Let's do it.
All right. So Invincible Iron Man 170, May 1983. Looks like the same creative team. Like you said, the title, and who shall clothe himself in iron?
Rhodey, that's who.
Oh, Lord. Again, this is another opening for your memoirs. A besotted Tony Stark is unable to don the Iron Man armor and confront the villain Magma, who is attacking Stark International. As a result, Jim Rhodes dons the armor. Rhodes is unable to effectively manipulate the armor, but ultimately receives timely advice from Morley Irwin and eventually the armor's inventor, a drunken Tony Stark himself. When Rhodes is initially unable to stop Magma, Obadiah Stane sends his knight to stop Magma, as he is destroying Stark International, which will soon change ownership to Stane himself. So he told the knight to go into it. You know, like that podcast, Into the Night, the
Moon Knight podcast.
Was that good, Ray?
Nailed it.
Thank you. In the ensuing chaos...
Hold that thought. I'll get back to you to quote this issue.
In the ensuing chaos, Rhodes defeats the Knight, but allows Magma to slip inside Stark's lab. Magma is prepared to kill Stark, but Stark urges entering Rhodes to utilize the repulsors on the armor's hand gauntlets. This allows Rhodes to finally defeat Magma. As the story comes to a close, to Rhodes' surprise, Stark refuses to resume the role of Iron Man, leaving to relax and have some fun. This is your story. Stark leaves his factory and his armor in the care of Jim Rhodes. At story's end...
See you later, bunkies! Fool! It's my plan all along. I need a break.
Where's they saying they pulled a coda?
See you later, bunkies.
At story's
He
end...
pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. He just wanted a vacation.
Seriously, yeah. Oh, like you.
Like I said, I relate to Tony Stark on so many levels.
His face being drunk to get a vacation. At story's end, Rhodes is seen phoning the Avengers to tell them that he is resigning from the team.
Pleasure talking to you, Wasp, but I'm afraid I got some bad news.
They
got Wasp answering the phone. This is as bad as frickin' Sue being the secretary.
Well, I was going to say, it's doubly sad because I think it might be at this point, if she's not team leader right now, she's pretty close to being team leader.
She's still a woman with boobs. Gotta answer the phone. Waka waka.
Oh, I mean, look what they're doing to her at this point. I mean, she's changing costume, like different costume every issue.
Which one will the men like the most? Should we throw a boob window in there?
But again, his resignation doesn't take because I mean he goes with them to Secret Wars and then
exactly
he ends up in this.
What I'm trying to say is I have to quit the Avengers, Jerry. I have to quit the Avengers. That's exactly how it reads, and you can't change my mind.
And then he shows up in like those first couple issues of West Coast Avengers.
Exactly.
All right. Well,
Which definitely changed the dynamic, and hopefully one day we'll get around to it, and maybe even get good old Charlie, the Professor Esser, in on that one. You know, he loves a good West Coast Avengers story.
Oh yeah, we gotta do some West Coast Avengers.
But no, like I said, these 2 issues are very well paced. It doesn't feel gratuitous. It feels kind of, I hate this word now, but very organic. Not cash grabby at all, because it's like issue 169. Who the hell cares? You know?
Yeah, it wasn't like a big anniversary issue or anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it all
culminated. Like, I like that they wanted to flesh Rhodey out.
And I feel like this storyline with Rhodey and like the one we mentioned before with Jon Stewart, that's like the first time I think like a replacement like went this long, because I mean Rhodey basically
and people actually liked.
I know, because it's like, yeah, because I mean Stark comes back and dries out eventually and starts working on armor, but Rhodey basically keeps this armor till around 200.
Yeah.
When Stark puts on that silver armor.
So I wonder if any of our listeners are old enough to have been reading, like actually reading this, have their pulse on the finger at the old local comic book shop. What the chit chat was about this, because I know it couldn't have been an easy decision. I know they were probably pretty pensive about it, as it were.
Oh yeah, early 80s, yeah.
Yeah, it's still a little too soon. But it's like, I guess black people read comics, so we gotta do something.
Yeah, I can't speak to it because I wasn't reading comics at the time. I was like 5.
It's like I was 5. Who am I, little Hellfire, reading comics at 5? In the attic, dusting off old X-Men.
Hell, I don't know if Little Hellfire's parents knew each other at this point, but no, I'm just saying. No, like when I started reading Iron Man, it was like right around like when the War Machine armor made its first appearance. Like I went back and I started buying back issues, and I like found these, and like I had to get the complete run from like here to 200. I was like, oh, this story's good. I'm like, I gotta,
Yeah, I think I have a lot of old Iron Man, like that's the Iron Man that I read, and then I got caught up, and I think I didn't start until like 90ish. Like actual like modern Iron Man was like mid to late 90s.
Yeah,
he was just kind of there. There's other teams and things that, you got your X-Men and your Fantastic Four. That was just really it's more my thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, kids.
I forget what story it was where I was just like, yeah, I think I like Iron Man.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, kids. There was a time Iron Man wasn't too popular.
Yeah, kind of like B almost C tier, to be honest.
And like some of the early ones, like I haven't read them all, but it's just like I don't know. Sometimes it's like I'm like
it's super cheesy, but like
I
like my comics like that sometimes.
I know, but
evolution from then to now is amazing. He's like one of the best like character evolutions that Marvel ever did.
But like, give me anything like from that when him and Doom went back in time to Camelot until like I don't know, till like maybe at least 2000s.
I was gonna say, yeah, like around 2002, ironically, is when it kind of took a dip, which actually allowed Marvel to go ahead and make those movies though later on.
That's true.
Because it had taken that dip and wasn't like they didn't think it was gonna go anywhere. So it kind of allowed him to be the anchor, since Hulk wasn't really doing it, to be the anchor in the MCU.
You know when it kind of cheap. You know when Iron Man kind of slowed down for me is like when Tony Stark became Secretary of State.
That was weird.
That was weird, yes.
I was just like, okay, everybody can't be Lex Luthor, sweetie. You gotta be evil to be in politics, okay? Just because you have money doesn't mean you're gonna be good in politics. You gotta be evil.
That's right. How about no?
You can at me, but I'm just saying, if you want to be a politician or an actor, there's something wrong about you.
Well, was that the political statement they're kind of trying to make? It's like, Tony Stark isn't the most clean cut guy either, so
even he can't make it in politics.
But maybe he fits in.
Who's he, Hillary Clinton?
Because it's like, back in the 80s, it's like, they wanted Captain America to run for president, and he was basically like, no, I can't do it. But it's like, so
yeah, You can't be a good person and be a politician. I'm sorry, you just can't. It's just a thing.
That's what I'm saying. Are they saying that Tony Stark can work way better in politics than like Steve Rogers or?
And even he didn't make it that far. So.
Oh no. Well,
yeah, I think it had a lot to do with like they're kind of throwing it back to his like munitions building and things like that. Like it would kind of actually make sense. Like the whole Halliburton and George W. Bush and those kind of connections. I think is where they were going with that. But they didn't lean enough into it, so it kind of felt half-assed, to be honest.
Well, and then too, everything rolled into the first Civil War, and I think Marvel as a whole kind of took like a tonal shift after Civil War.
For the better, for the most part.
Yeah.
They didn't need to. It's kind of like when DC decided to do a 0 hour. It's like, didn't you already? Didn't you say that was the only one you were gonna do? Okay.
At least it was.
At least to Marvel's credit, they only had 2 Civil Wars and Secret Wars. They only had 2. So DC is on its I don't know 5th. I don't know. I've lost count at this point.
All right. So how do we get? Well, it's Iron Man. I mean, I was going to say how we get Tony Stark, but Jim Rhodes. So yes, I mean everything, the War Machine stuff, everything. It all starts here.
Yeah, it does. I wonder what made them. I wish I could find some interviews about why they decided to do it.
Oh yeah, because we don't any
the real reason. There's always the press release reason and then the real reason.
I mean, if nothing else, don't you think it's like a sales bump?
Is it?
I mean, again, I think it's Denny did like his social commentary, but too, it's like, oh hey, we're gonna shock people. They're gonna start picking up issues just to see, oh, how did we mess up Iron Man now?
True. Comic book nerds will read a book out of spite. I can attest to that personally. I stopped doing it because I just speak with my money and I'm like, oh, not reading DC. Take that. You're losing $260 something a month. Take that, DC. You need it.
And again, it's like basically anybody can be Iron Man. I mean, is that like in the other novelty, or it's like it's not the guy who built the suit running it. It's just like a quote unquote normal.
But then that takes it back to kind of Riri. I did it because I could. That's
but she's she's genius level too. Like I said, Jim Rhodes is just a guy.
Guy. Yeah, but that's kind of a weird thing too, because he's kind of a take orders kind of guy. So that's the one thing I felt like they really ever addressed with this particular run. It's just we get to know him a little bit, but he still feels a little too clean cut. Not we didn't get into it as much back then. We know a lot about him now, but this particular run, I felt like they just were kind of focusing on him dealing with the suit and that whole thing, and Tony being Tony.
Well, in the 90s, I mean, in 2 weeks when we get to the War Machine stuff, I mean, he loses some of that clean cut.
Yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I like to see. I feel like they were too afraid to do that War Machine thing here. Just because, I don't know, they just wanted people to kind of accept him in the suit.
And again, too, this is early 80s. I mean, we're not in the 90s, they basically made clones of everyone. War Machine, U.S. Agent, Thunderstrike, They're looking. So I don't think this was as much of a cash grab. It was more
they're bored. Denny was bored. He's like, let's shake it up. That's his thing, though, honestly. He loves to shake stuff up. That's his jam. Or was his jam.
Oh yeah, I mean, this and he revitalized Batman.
Think about all his iconic stories. It's all about shaking things up for the most part.
Oh yeah,
or kind of fixing somebody's mistake. We won't name names. We won't name storylines, but y'all know if you know.
I mean, he fixed Batman. He did Hard Traveling Heroes, the Green.
He fixed Green Lantern.
Yeah,
and to an extent, Ollie. But Ollie didn't need a lot of fixing.
I mean,
he didn't need to step out of Batman's shadow, and he did that perfectly. So.
Oh yeah, he had been out in the spotlight for a long time, and then he kind of.
Yeah.
But and then there was a shakeups that weren't quite popular. Lilith Hellfire's favorite, Wonder Woman in the white suit.
Yeah, but that was not really him. That was more of an editorial push. Yeah, that was kind of an editorial thing, and he did the best he could with what they wanted those mandates to be. And maybe
it's just
Charlie loves it, so it was for somebody.
Did he even read that? Come on.
I know. I don't believe him, but he said he liked it, so I trust him. He was there, He was old enough to be there, so I just assumed he read it.
Oh, please, that suit was tight enough. Charlie liked it.
Exactly.
Pirates, arg! We're doing me now?
But yeah, I think if you don't have this, you should definitely get it, especially right now. Like before he shows up on Falcon and Winter Soldier, before he gets his own show, because it's gonna go up, up, up.
Because, like you said, you can get this for like what? Like
$9.25 is the average price that I was seeing. I picked up one for $6, one for $7, and one for $4.75. The one for $4.75 is not in the best condition, but it's okay.
Yeah, and if you don't care about the quality, you just want to read it. I mean, I picked these up years ago in like dollar bins and stuff.
Yeah, dollar bins.
And
they might be missing the cover, but
exactly. I mean, mine look pretty. I mean, there might be like damage on the corner, but they look pretty decent. But also, like tonight, I'm reading these on Marvel Unlimited. So if you just want to read them, yeah, you can get them real quick on Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah, but who just reads comic books? You collect them. It's what you do. It's kind of the gimmick, honestly. But I don't know who can afford to be a completionist in this market. To be honest.
I used to try to be a completionist. There's no way in hell you can be a completionist now.
Convergence broke me on DC. I was just like, I
like you kind of have to like pick a title or an era and try to be a completionist on like your little piece you choose. Yeah, there's no way you can get them all now.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, A+ for me.
Oh,
like I said, it's very like it's actually like I said, it's just those 2 issues went by like that for me. It's very engrossed. Art is great. Story is nice. I like to see like it doesn't give you too much. It leaves you kind of enough to like pick up the next book, and then the whole run's kind of like that. Okay, you got me. I'll read the next issue, and the next issue, and the next issue. Next thing you know, it's the freaking 200th issue.
Exact. That's what I said when I first picked these up. I was like, oh, I got to get the complete run from here to 200. You know, I have to. That was like one of the big chunks of back issues I first got when I started collecting Iron Man. Again, A+, it's great. One day we're going to have to come back around this way and do some more of these issues.
Next February, meet you here.
Why not?
Jon Stewart can wait. It's fine.
Hey,
we got a whole Green Lantern podcast now.
We have a Green Lantern podcast now, yes.
So, what did Ray Ray have to say?
Oh, our Aussie friend, Aussie fanboy, Ray Ray, yes. Host Jack of many podcast trades, including Last Sons of Krypton, a
Superman podcast.
I finally caught up today, Ray. I'm current on my Last Sons of Krypton. To know her is to fear her, a Spider-Woman
podcast. Soon to be the Spider-Woman podcast.
That's right. And he's 1/3 of the Spider Pimps that you can hear on the podcast last Tuesday of every month.
Scarlet Spider Pimps. Get it right.
That's right, Scarlet Spider Pimps. The Scarlet Pimps, yeah. Last Tuesday of every month, talking Scarlet Spider with me and Matt Kona. And of course, you could see his little head down there, like right under my chin. His baby, Into the Night. The Moon Knight podcast. So get yourself some Moon Knight knowledge before that show drops on Disney Plus. All right, so let's hear what this master of Marvel had thought about these issues.
Hello, Phil and Lilith. This is Ray. I have just finished reading Iron Man 169 and 170, so very fresh in the mind, and I wanted to leave some comments. As I believe you are actually recording as I record. Hopefully I can get this to you in time. Anyway, these 2 issues involving James Rhodes, Jimmy Rhodes, Rhodey as Iron Man, I thought was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. Very dated, mind you, but I do kind of have a soft spot for this era. So really enjoyed Denny O'Neill's writing. McDonald's, is it? His pens. It's in the same vein as like Bob Layton pencils, which I really do enjoy. But yeah, this whole thing about seeing Tony Stark really on a downward spiral captured very well, I think, as being someone on the source, as mentioned in the comics, and really struggling with his alcoholism. But it was really good to see. It was an eye opener. I mean, I guess it was. There was no holding back on the depiction. He certainly was really on self-destruct mode, and it set up nicely this introduction of Rhodey as Iron Man. So I really enjoyed how Rhodey kind of got into it. It's so funny because on the cover it had like Tony Stark of 169 saying, you be Iron Man, I don't want to be Iron Man anymore. So I hadn't read these issues, and it was a surprise to me when basically Tony Stark was left in his undies, just on the floor of the headquarters, and Rhodey actively just picking up the suit and putting it on because, Tony Stark really irresponsible. Magma was laying siege to Stark International. So Rhodey had to do something there, and it was good to see him in the suit. What could only take, I think it was, as mentioned, months or years to really learn. Rhodey at least gets a hang of flying and the repulsor rays. And I thought a very, if I can do this in air quotes, realistic take on someone who is new to the suit trying to fight Magma, who is like a third tier criminal, but he proves to be quite a handful to Rhodey because of the uncertainty and the inexperience of using the suit. Some good fight scenes. Rhodey's attempt, I guess, at just diving head into that robotic machine. He did that twice. It didn't work. I liked it because he really had no other facilities, available to him as to what he could do. He found out later on he could use repulsor rays, of course. But yeah, it was quite entertaining. And towards the end, I guess as Magma makes his way and finds Tony in his underwear, that kind of built up to a pretty cool showdown as well. I liked how Rhodey was getting the hang of. It seems to have enhanced his speed as well, as he was able to dodge some blasts. But of course, it augmented his strength, which we saw a bit earlier on as well. I would give this a good. Both of these issues. I should also mention Obadiah Stane. Be interested to see what is this. I had come across comics before as well with I think that Flying Knight that he had, and it must be connected to Obadiah Stane, but he's looking very kind of guru. I don't know how to explain. He's got that emerald on his forehead. He seems very kind of hippie, and he wants to take over Stark International. That was also the that kind of the corporate side of the story was pretty cool as well, about going through how Stark International could go under, basically because of Tony squandering everything and because of his alcoholism. Obadiah Stane was interesting to see. There's obviously a running thread there, still in the works. It's still kind of pulling strings, so to speak, and has an end game to acquire Stark International. And funnily enough, as well, Endgame is used that phrase here. So, coincidence? Endgame's not really a common phrase, is it? I don't know. Anyway, I found that quite coincidental with obviously the MCU, Infinity War Endgame, being now worldwide and widely known. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. These two, I'll give these a very strong. I did enjoy these issues, and in seeing, I guess, the lower ebb of Tony Stark, I'll give these B pluses. I really enjoyed both of them. They worked really well together, and the ending as well of now we have Rhodey in disguise as Iron Man, but wanting to quit the Avengers. Quite interesting stuff. Does that?
That goes somewhere with it.
I'm getting confused here with some. He does go over to the West Coast Avengers as Rhodey, so I'm assuming he goes off to the West Coast then. That's why he leaves the Avengers. Anyway, looking forward to it, as I just got a message here, Phil, that you are about to start, so I'm hoping to get this into you, pretty soon. Anyway, keep up the great work, and I shall be listening intently. Catch up.
You made it, buddy!
That's right. So see, it all comes full circle. Okay, and thank you, Ray. And can I just say, while Ray's feedback was going, like, I have his picture up on the screen. The rest of you can't see her, but I can see a little Hellfire on my little screen underneath. She's just like draining the bottoms out of cans. I'm just like,
It's Red Bull.
I know.
Wings.
I didn't say what it was in the cans. I just said you were draining the bottoms out of cans.
I'm thirsty. So thirsty for it, bro. I mean, I can't be like Ray with a tank top and a glass of wine, but I can.
Well, you could, but
it's too cold in Florida for tank tops right now. It's hoodie and beanie season, and it only lasts like 2 months.
What's the temperature down there? Come on.
45.
Wait, what is it?
45 degrees. That's
okay.
Cold.
I'll say it's 40 here right now. Jeez, you're not that much better than Pennsylvania. Come on.
Well, that's just at nighttime. In the daytime, it's like 72. So.
I'm thirsty for it, bro.
Thank you. And on that note, let's tell the kids what homework they should be reading.
Yes. Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, Ray. Rhodey went with the Avengers: The Secret Wars. Then he came back and like, what was it, around 180 something? Yeah, him and that Morley Irwin moved to the West Coast. So yeah, that's when he joins the West Coast Avengers.
They were just roommates, sir.
Hey-o. All right, so let's pull up the handy dandy schedule.
You know, you go out to the West Coast, become roommates.
Hey-o. Listen to you. How do you know? All right, so next week, we'll be back with the Devil You Know, the Daredevil
podcast
for Daredevil 245, the guest starring the Black Panther.
No, Black Panther.
Black Panther. No, and then in 2 weeks, yes, we're back with more Jim Rhodes from the 90s, War Machine number 1 through 4. Come on, Ray, 90s comics, right up your alley.
Got a dirty roadie up a bit.
Yeah. Get special with some special 90s guests thrown in for good measure.
As you do.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's the 90s, huh?
Exactly. Modern comics, that's like the one thing they took and ran with it. And then beat that dead horse.
Everybody just shows up in everybody's book, yeah. So yeah, send your thoughts, and as of now, I believe you can send in written feedback, audio feedback like Ray, but I believe now we can even take videos. So,
ooh, fancy!
Be a YouTube star and send in video yourself, sending in feedback.
Video killed the radio star, you know.
Why do I feel like Ray's about to receive a whole box of tank tops? Here's some feedback shirts, kid. XO, Little Hellfire. All right.
Now it'd be more like bottles of wine. That's the kind of feedback gifts I give. I give wine.
Here's some feedback, choose, kid.
Exactly.
I'm thirsty for it, bro.
So, yeah, how can they send in their feedback, by the way?
Well, you can always send your written audio.
In the old-fashioned way.
Well, the way our Moz and Paws did back in 1983. Email us at capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or you can call the voicemail. Yes, on your rotary phone, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Comic Capers on Facebook, Twitter. You can find links to all of our various social media for all of our shows. You can find links to this YouTube channel where you can see Ray's nostrils during his feedback. Links to our Patreon for Little Hellfire's Hard R reviews.
Showgirls is this month, baby!
Maybe we'll get another porn conversation going.
Okay, but the pirate movies are very well done.
There's a
cheese. Not lying.
There's a cheese.
My wife never lies about porn.
Did she choose Showgirls? Because that's what we're doing next.
I really, really like Hooters.
So yes, links to all of that.
I like both T and A. It's kind of a combo deal, but.
Hello. Right. Links to merch.
Stay hydrated, my friend.
get a cup just like myself and the little Hellfire.
Like I said, if you just pretend like it's just...
Yes.
They'll never know it's booze. They'll think it's tea.
No one
or
can tell
coffee.
what's in there. No one can tell what's in there. It could be iced tea. It could be something else.
Could be Long Island iced tea.
Or wine. But yes, find links to everything at Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And please support our sponsors. You had trouble hearing Lilith Hellfire this episode, Ray? Well, get yourself
some Tweaked Audio headphones.
That's
and
right.
we even have a handy dandy coupon.
That's right. Southgate. Use the code Southgate for discount, Ray. And as if that wasn't enough, you can also use the Southgate discount code for...
To hunt a killer! Help Michelle Gray, guys.
Yep. Get yourself a game because you should be staying in the house.
Especially this weekend.
Oh, yes. It's get yourself a game, not the big game, but
Oh, Florida being Florida.
Oh, Lord. That's what we need to do on Patreon. What did Florida do this month?
Oh, the Chronicles of Florida, man. I'm going to tell you, there's a YouTube channel that would do it much better than we ever could. It is freaking hilarious.
All right. So, yes. And also, for those of you learned types, pick up Pod Life, the book, now in digital and paperback. Learn all about the journey of podcasters, including myself, Lil's wife, Marnell, her sister-in-law, many of the Southgate Media Group professionals, and, of course...
Fine, Rob Southgate.
Honey, remember when you used to be enthusiastic about the trashing of Rob?
It's been 86 years!
How can we recapture the magic in our relationship? Come on. Anyways.
Well, you can go to Amazon and buy it. And when you do, be sure to use the link down there in the show notes. Doesn't affect you at all, but helps us out tremendously.
That's right. So when I go on Amazon to buy a little something diesel powered, I will use the code right down there in the show notes. No, I don't think there's a chain on the end of it. You know what I'm saying? But yes, help us support this show, the network, and that madman with a bejeweled forehead, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom. You're weak sauce. Why did your eye drift over to my box? Mark my words.
Lilith Hellfire.
If you nerds want to hang out with me on Twitter, where I'm live tweeting Batwoman and whenever the hell the Flash freaking comes back, at Lilith Hellfire.
March now. Yeah.
Oh God, at Lilith Hellfire. On Instagram, at Lilith Hellfire 86 for puppies, smoothies, and cold pressed juice recipes. But for the memes, at Lilith Hellfire 69 on TikTok and the Gram.
I'm 12 when you need me to be 12.
Bye, Felicia. Because it's a Marvel podcast.
Oh, that's true.
Bye, Felicia. Not in the face.
That's your trademark.
What a waste of butter.
Oh, what a waste of butter.
That's an awfully big rod he's got there. Save it for showgirls, homie.
I don't want to see no rod. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Comic Capers. Again, come back in 1 week for more Daredevil 245, and then back
the
here.
devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
That's right, and then back here in 2 weeks for more Jim Rhodes in his own armor. But until then, keep it iron.
Man.